Hello everyone and welcome back to the Builders Academy. It's me, Lemon Slice, and today we're going to be learning about landscaping, a very simple guide to teach you the tricks that I use for transforming normal Minecraft terrain into something custom and beautiful. So let's waste no time, let's already get the lesson going. Here is some normal Minecraft generation, a basic normal Minecraft world, and the first thing to landscaping is going to be tidying things up a little bit, especially in a plains biome, smoothing the sides, and the first thing we'll discuss is cliffs and hills and how to build nice, beautiful cliffs. So the first thing to do when you want to make a cliff is make sure you set the outline at the top of the cliff like I just did here. Make it out of grass. The next thing you're going to do is go underneath and start adding in some stone drooping down. Make sure the layers slowly go back. As you can see, I have little pieces sticking out farther than other pieces drooping down and slowly sloping into the bottom. Now at the bottom you can continue it sloping in and make somewhat of a cave at the bottom, or you can have it come back out with some sharp pieces. The next thing you want to do is go back through the entire thing and bring your dirt out a little bit. You want to add some texture into the stone that you just put down, so use andesite, cobblestone, whatever it is that you think would fit your mountain. Make sure to use slabs, stairs, walls especially. Next thing you can see me do right here is add some dirt off the edges, drooping down so it looks a little bit more natural than just sitting at the edge. See, it droops down over the edge of it. Next thing you want to do, go through the entire thing and droop some leaves off the top, coming down, even some leaves throughout the stone. Finally added some vines and some bone meal at the top, and you have yourself a nice little cliff, nice and simple. And guys, my biggest tip for doing one of these little cliffs is make sure it looks as natural as possible. Maybe throw in some vines, make sure this is all drooping. Don't do anything formal. It's a lot of spam placing and random placement of the leaves and everything, so make sure nothing looks too formal and make everything completely random. And for each step along the way, I'll be showing a larger scale, so the first thing here is a larger cliff with the same exact strategy I just used. Just before we continue the tutorial, guys, I just want to mention I launched a Discord for all builders. Come and share your builds over in the Lemon Slice Discord. Ask for help. I will be on there constantly trying to help people, sharing my builds, announcements, and behind the scenes content for me. But let's get back to the video and let's start doing some trees. And now that you know how to do cliffs, we're going to move on to the next most important thing about landscaping. That is custom trees. And I've set up a little plot here where we're going to be going over multiple different ways of how to make different types of custom trees, from oak to palm tree to spruce to dead trees, all sorts of different trees. We're going to be going over that so that you can learn how to do it. And it's surprisingly a lot easier than you think. So I'm going to show you a couple different designs. This first one is an oak tree. The strategy for these is basically make wonky branches like you would see in a real life oak tree, use slabs underneath the diagonal pieces, and then start spamming the leaves. Spam around all the branches and try and make it look completely random. Don't do anything too natural or symmetrical. And also make sure you don't have too many flat sides and you'll end up with something like that. The second one we're going to go into is a pine tree. Obviously you want to start super tall and have these branches sticking out, and as you get up higher you'll see the branches start to get smaller and smaller till they end up being fence posts, and then spam some fence posts along the other branches. Then you're going to take the leaves, go along all of the other branches, go up them, leave some of the fence posts showing through, as you can see there on the right side, and then once you get to the top you're going to make it really spiky and pointy. This one right here is going to be a dark oak tree, but it's going to represent a swamp tree basically. How you're going to do this is similar to the oak tree. You're going to make it a little bit smaller though, as you can see, and then leave dangling leaves coming down. Super simple one right there. And then this one right here we're going to go into is a dead tree, and you're going to make a lot more branches than you would on an oak tree, but the same strategy as the oak tree. Just make a little more wood showing and then use more slab stairs and a lot of fence posts to make it look like dead sticks. Finally, maybe not used too often, but it's the palm tree. Make a nice curved trunk going up and a nice canopy across the top, and then some drooping leaves just like the swamp tree. And there's obviously other ways you can do this, but this is how I make mine. And back to the large scale, you can see this represented on a bigger scale. I even made some smaller pine trees, but there it is. And the next thing on the agenda, guys, is streams, rivers, lakes, and waterfalls. Starting first with a pond, the first thing you want to do is dig out the actual formation of where you want the pond to be. Mine's going to be the top of this mountain, just like this. I'm going to add some clay, some gravel, some texture at the bottom. You should do the same and have it come out just a little bit. I'm going to use slabs, walls, and blocks to build up around it to make it look nice and rocky, and then obviously place in the water. I then go around with some leaves, put in some lanterns, and then I add in some logs as a little feature on the side. I also bone meal the bottom to get some seagrass in our pond. Moving down here to a river example, you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to outline the bottom with some kind of texture. It doesn't have to be clay and gravel like I use here, but it is up to you. I mostly use slabs around the edges of the river, so it is a little bit lower. I then add in some more texture on the farther out reaches of the river side, I guess, and also with some dirt, some leaves, and then place in the logs as well. And then lastly, you guys can use some of those custom trees to really decorate your river. And as you can see, this entire area is really coming together. And right here, moving back up to our larger scale, we have a river and a waterfall coming off of it. And I know some of this, guys, may seem intimidating to do in survival, but if you really look at it, you're not using too many different materials. It's just stone and some gravel, leaves, which are easy to get, along with wood. So all of this is not too bad to do in survival. And now we'll move on to the final step of the landscaping process, which is adding details, lamps, such as lighting and pathways. And here we go with some path designs for your survival world. Easy to build and construct. We're using just path blocks, other types of dirt, leaves, and lanterns on fence posts. This one is a stone version. We're going to use some varying heights using slabs and stairs as well. This would be good for medieval. We're then going to put some coarse dirt around the outside, use some walls for lighting, even more slabs, and then the final touches, you know, guys, like the leaves and stuff like that. And to go with those pathways, here's a couple different lamppost designs for your world. Easy to construct, some of them a little more complicated, and this is just off the top of my head. I'm sure you can make some even better ones. So there you have it, guys, the landscaping guide. Very quick, simple, easy guide. And if you guys want any more detailed videos about any of these steps along the way, please comment below and let me know what you would like to have more detail about. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and please consider subscribing, because we're doing videos like this every single week. Leave your feedback below, and I'll see you guys next week in the Builders Academy.